Okay, can I name the event? Title, my live stream, making goat milk soap live. Making goat milk soap. If you can see what I'm doing, I'm typing. Sorry. Making goat milk soap. Lavender and Oat. Live from Android using Streamlab. Anyone? Save. Okay, everyone. Hi, I'm Cassie Lockwood here with my soap making live. I am trying a new Streamlabs app for my phone so I can stream live. Also have a new ring light. Haven't figured out who sent it to me. Obviously someone who is a customer, friend, family that knew I needed a new holder for my phone. So let's get this started. If you have any messages, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in. And while I'm making, I'll try to look at the comments. But my phone is so big and my eyes aren't that great because I'm getting old. Okay, let's get started. Hold on. Let me get my little doggy in here. Let's see, let me set up my camera, make it good. Excuse me. First of all, if you've never made soap ever in your life, please go to my channel, look up soap making, how to handle lye, but also, let me grab my face mask real quick. Also, go check out all the other YouTubers. One of my favorites is Royalty Soaps. And there are several out there that have amazing videos on how to handle lye properly. Okay? Oh! Hold on. My phone is so big that the holder doesn't want to hold my phone. Okay. Let me come up just a little bit more. I'm adjusting as I go, you guys. So give me just a minute. You give it a few to see if this is even streaming live on my channel. Hunter, can you let in the dog so he'll stop barking?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you guys, I'm soaping, so nobody come in the kitchen. Okay. Let's see. Alrighty. Try to get my camera set up and adjusted. Is that your dad? Did your dad just come in?
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, can you check the YouTube channel and see if this is actually being streamed live? It's the first time I'm using this Streamlabs, so I don't know if it's actually streaming live on our channel or not. But I'm going to start and hope that it is. And I'm thinking about moving this over here on this side. I don't know. Maybe over here.
Thanks.
Am I live? All right. Hey, this is working. All right. I'm gonna bring you around over here. Sorry about the mess. I want you to be able to see me. Hey, can you see me better this way? Okay, but you can't see what I'm doing. So let me adjust. I'm learning, you guys. I'm learning. Just bear with me. So let me take my ring light, get the camera angles right. There we go. Now let's see if that chops my head off. I'm trying to figure this out. Hey, I see you on there, babe. I'm live on YouTube. Okay, this is so cool. And it chopped my head off. I can go like this, be down on my knees so you can see me. Well, on my knees, I'd be like this, so that's not good. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm getting all my stuff prepared, ready to make some soap. So many people have subscribed to our channel. 515 subscribers. Awesome, everyone. Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. It means a whole lot. So today, we are answering questions. We are making soap live. And I'm just going to do my very best to help you guys out. Pretty soon, I'm going to do a video on how to use soap calc. Can you see this? This is kind of how it comes out. Oh, it's backwards. I'm so sorry. It's going to be backwards for you. But when you are making soap, the best way to play around with your recipes and see what you can use is get on soap calc. And I'm going to get you a tutorial on how to use that sucker, because there's so many. I mean, I punched in 3 different recipes, and really what I want to look is I want to look for the cleansing and the conditioning, number 1. I want the range. It'll tell you the range when you calculate the recipe. So my cleansing range, and your range should be from 2 to 22. My cleansing is at a 22. That's perfect. The coconut oil is a very cleansing oil. That's why we use it. I try to not use palm oil. I've only used palm oil in 1 soap, but that was for a lady who was allergic. So you don't want to use coconut oils for people that are allergic, because it can still irritate your skin. Now on this conditioning, it says your range should be from 44 to 69. Ours is coming in at a 63. And that is because we want the most conditioning bar we can create. Now, if it is super conditioning bar, that's going to be a bar you could use on your head. This is a bar for your skin. Your bubbly, to make it bubble, 14 to 46, ours is at a 24. Creaminess, ours is at a 13. It's not a huge creamy soap, but the added goat's milk, I can't punch in that I'm using goat's milk in the soap calc. So the goat's milk adds a creaminess to your bar. So let's get our everything ready. I got my face mask. If you're new to making soap, wear sleeves, wear closed-toe shoes, get you a mask, get you some goggles, or this wonderful little face shield. This is really great to be making soap with. And I'm not liking, let's come up a little higher so I'm not bending over. Let's try this a little higher. I need a good camera angle so you can see me. Now you can see me, but you can't see what I'm doing just yet. Okay, that'll work for now, okay? We'll work with what we got. So, on my recipe, I'm making 8 pounds of soap today. Like I said, this is Lavender and Oat, one of our favorite soaps. It is one of our best sellers ever. So I thought I would share it with you. I'm going to grab my scale. You need yourself a scale, digital. You need yourself a infrared little digital thermometer. And then you need all your characters in play. I have sodium lactate. It is a humectant. It is made from salt. It is a natural ingredient you can put in your soap. It just helps the soap pop out of the mold a little faster and hardens up your soap a little faster because of the salt. Salt is a drying. It's not going to make your soap dry. It just will help your soap cure a little bit faster. And then we use Essential Depot for just about everything. I got permission to say that I could use it. We're a Green Life member, so we're able to put this beautiful logo. See this little logo? Can you see it? Right here on our soaps and on our website. Essential Depot Lye. This is our go-to place to buy almost all of our soap products. I do not buy my coconut oil from there only because they don't sell it in the 5-gallon pail that I use. So this is a huge bucket of coconut oil. You can buy your coconut oil. I've had a lot of questions from Sam's, Costco, Walmart, all that kind of stuff. So you could do it like that. You know what? Let me scoot you back. Maybe you could see the counter a little more. Boop, boop. Oh, there you go. See, now you can see me and the counter. Okay, so I'm going to set this down somewhere. Bear with me, I'm getting all my stuff together. I gotta weigh my coconut oil. That's the first thing I'm gonna do because the oil, it's kept in the house here. So the oil needs to be warmed up just a little bit. We're making a cold process soap, so I can't heat up the oil too high. And when you are making soap, make sure you're weighing everything out because just like baking a cake, I've said this 100 times, everything has to be weighed out perfectly. You cannot mess with the weights, especially go by your recipe that you've calculated in. So we use a 32% coconut oil, 24%, it's like 32.31 to be exact, 24% olive oil, 40% canola oil in this recipe, and 3% castor oil. And they vary a little bit, like, you know, it's 32.31, 24.62. So we have a recipe on our base recipe goat's milk soap video. It's one of our, you know, most viewed videos. You can use that and, you know, learn how, but this is kind of my special recipe. I'll tell you my percentages, but I'm not going to give you my exact amount. I mean, we are a soap business, so I can't give away all my secrets, but I can show you how it's done and give you a little, you know, confidence on how to do it. So, I had a lady who has her own farm and her own soaps, goats and everything, and wanted to make soaps. And so she's been super sweet messaging us, and so I hope, and several people, so I hope this helps you guys out. All right, so on my coconut oil, I need to measure it out perfectly. So this is how I do it. I have to be able to see it. This is my whole process, you guys. And I have it set on ounces, not ounces and pounds. Almost there. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to pop this in the microwave. You don't want to scorch your oils ever, so only like 30 seconds at a time. Let me get a little paper towel for this. Excuse me. I'm still fighting my allergies. Doing a lot better this week. Last week, they were kicking our butts. Oh, is that notifications? I'm terrible about turning my notifications down. Hope that's not going to be too bad. If it gets too bad, I'll come over there and mess with them. So, let me move the coconut oil. That's another thing I do. Once I use something, I move it away. I know that I've used that coconut oil, but if something happens in the middle of me making soap, like I had a phone call or something right now, I would know I'm good. I'm done with that. So take it away. Pop it in. We'll do a minute. That was a lot of coconut oil. And I have my microwave kind of low. Earlier, I ground the oatmeal. I took our oatmeal that we eat. That is, it's not the quick cooking oats. It's the whole, the whole oats that you have to cook for a long time. You could use the quick oats. You could use just about anything, or you can buy the oatmeal already ground for you. It's colloidal, whatever oatmeal. But I grind it, and the best way to show you, let me get a little closer. The stuff on top is a little a little coarse, and I'll just dump the coarse stuff in a bowl, and I'll get that fine powdered stuff right there. See all the coarse stuff? So I'll just dump that. I'll show you. Dump that off into a bowl of coarse stuff. And then I have plenty of the powder, the light powder down at the bottom. And I'll continue to grind this down until it's even softer, because I don't want the bar to be too coarse. I want it to be nice and soft on your skin. Perfect. Okay, so clear out your scale. You want to set this down. Clear out your scale. The good thing about this, I can see straight through the oil. So clear it out, and then now we can go to measuring our olive oil. Now, for this bar, I want a light colored olive oil. This is just the store brand, basic classic olive oil. I usually buy my olive oil from a restaurant, but these were on sale for $8. So that was a really good deal. So let me pour this in here before my scale turns off. Double check, double check. I'm probably going to use every drop of this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There you go. I went over 0.4. So now I got to remember to stop when I'm pouring in my canola oil. So now I get my canola oil. Store brand. This is the canola oil, rich in omega-3 fatty acids. This is obviously gluten-free, but this is a really good canola oil. This is a canola oil that you would make your salads with and everything like that. Oh, don't turn off. I thought it almost turned off. You gotta hurry before it turns off. That's happened before, and I've had to calculate and do math. Whoa. I can barely see through. Hold on. I can barely see through it now because it's getting so thick. There we go. And then some splashed on my glasses and on my face. That's why those face shields are handy if you were dealing with lying. And now my glasses. I'm going to take my glasses off. Luckily, I could see close up with my glasses. Without my glasses, but I can't see far away. So someone starts talking to me, I'll have to throw my glasses back on. We're almost there. Need a bit more. Perfect. And now the castor oil. That is one oil that a lot of people overuse. You don't want to overuse your castor oil. You're only putting castor oil in for two things. One, it's another humectant, and oops, sorry, just leave this open. And for two, this is what makes your soap bubble. You want bubbles? This is it. So I'm going to clear this out, and then I'm going to pour it in real easy. Watch, I don't use as much. It's a good thing you don't have to use a lot of this because it's pricey. Almost there. Sometimes I give my scale just a minute because you got to be real accurate. So give it a minute to register the weight. There we go. Okay, put this away. Let me move it over here so I know. So all of my oils are now weighed out. And since I put cold oil with warm oil, that's perfect. It's 83.6. You would just move this out of the way. Move this, move that. Now it's time to measure the goat's milk. So when you're doing your recipes, you're not going to be able to put in goat's milk. That is your water. Okay, so let's see. Here is the water. I already weighed this before. Trash. So now that I have my goat's milk in there, I do add some distilled water ice cubes. We have really good well water. So I actually have made soap with our well water before because it has natural minerals in it, and it has worked. But if you are in the city, hold on one second, I'm going to pop this ice and it's going to go everywhere. Let me do it in the city. See if some ice popped out. If you are in the city with treated water, you know, you're with city water, please use distilled water because it's going to possibly react. Oh, we're almost there. One more. Perfect. Okay, and now this is where it's going to start getting serious because I'm about to work with lye. So give me 1 second. Put this stuff over here. Grab me a little drink. Now, before I do the lye, I add in my sodium lactate right now. Oh, I see some comments. Before I get started, let me see if I can read them. Hey, it's my mom. Look at you watching, Mom, on YouTube. Love you. Excuse me. Okay, so a lot of people have asked, do you need sodium lactate? You don't. You don't have to use it. But I like to try to pop my soap out. Ooh, that's still not good. I like to try to pop my soap out of the mold a lot sooner than, 24 hours. In Texas, it's very humid. Sometimes I have to let the soap set for 48 hours. So, there we go, that's better. So I use a teaspoon per pound. So it being 5 milliliter on your little medicine cups is a teaspoon. So we need 8 pounds, 5 times 8 is 40. So I need 40 milliliters of sodium lactate. 1, that's 10, 20, 30, and 40. And as you can see, I've had this for a really long time. So now move that away. Everything we're using, move it away. And if you used it, put it up. And grab another paper towel. And this is where I'm going to be muffled for a minute because I need my face mask. We are indoors. We are working with lye. We are being super safe. Kids aren't coming in here. I'm in a well. I'm in a huge kitchen. Tall ceilings, fans on. But not only that, working with lye when it's an ice form, or your goats and your water mixture is an ice form, it cuts down on the fumes. I mean, I literally get barely a fume. We still want to use protection just to be safe, but if you are not comfortable with working with lye, take it outside for a minute, but just be careful when you're carrying the lye back. And also, read your labels. On your label, it says, wear gloves and goggles when handling, never add water, and avoid moisture to sodium hydroxide, which is lye. Only add sodium hydroxide slowly to water. So you would never have a container of lye and pour water into the lye. You're going to have a volcano effect. It's going to be super dangerous. So there's lots of things you need to be careful with working with lye. You want to pour your lye into your water, have a face mask, and be well ventilated if you're using just straight water. As it'll get really hot. I mean, over 200 degrees, 300, I mean, it gets really hot. So that's why we're doing it in ice form for goat's milk, because we don't want to scorch our wonderful milk with all of our beautiful properties. There's linoleic acid, there's, you know, vitamins and minerals and all kinds of stuff in goat's milk. So here we go. Got to get it over the hat. Hold on one second. I usually do this off camera, so you're seeing everything. And then if you wanted to, you could use your face shield. With a hat, it's kind of weird, so I kind of like do it like that. I know this looks weird and scary, but it's only for a minute. Gloves. See this burn on my arm? Can you see it? It's from lye. I was trying to do a live soap making on our Facebook, and I got it on there, and it was only on there for like a minute. Can you see it? Wait, right there? That was a week ago. So lye will burn you. Just let you know. Boy, I look funny. Okay. So, with our lye, come down here, and we're going to zero this out. And I hardly see because this is bogging me up. Zero out. There we go. Double check every time. Okay. Sorry, I'm not talking. I don't like to breathe during this time. Okay. Now, it shows that I got a tiny bit more lye than I wanted. It's really hard to see. So you want to get a spoon. And I can't put that lye back in my container, but I can spoon out what I did over. Well, let's see. There we go. Okay, so this right here, I just wasted. Just to let you know. I gotta take it over, and I gotta put it in the sink, and I gotta run the water. Run the water first. Okay, sorry about that. Now we gotta start stirring this before it scorches my milk. I don't know if you can hear me very well. Stir easy, not fast. See? There. See, it's already melting. We started about 3 o'clock and now it's 3:39, so just showing you the process. We're just going to continue stirring until all this is melted, but I do not see any fumes happening, and the ice is keeping my mixture down. Let me see it. 54 degrees. So I don't know if you can hear me, but that's 54 degrees. I can't go too fast, sorry. It's gonna take a second to get all this melted. Make sure you don't feel any lye at the bottom. You want to use your spatula or your spoon, and you want to go back and forth and make sure none is stuck to the bottom. And everything is mixing together really well. When you're working with water and ice, you would mix this until it's clear. So now that you have goat's milk, you just want to mix it until all your ice is dissolved, and you've been mixing for several minutes. Now when you're working with water or ice in a cold process recipe, instead of milk, you could make this ahead of time and cover it, put a lid on it, something that you know, put it somewhere where no one's going to touch it, it will not spill, and you can make your lye in batches beforehand so it's nice and cooled down and ready to go. But you can't do that with goat's milk because the fats in the goat's milk will already start sponifying with the lye and start thickening. So you can't make this ahead of time like you can with water. And we're going to check the temperature again. We're at 75 degrees. Great. It's a great temperature. I'm going to just put this on a napkin. I don't want to put it directly on my counter. If you have countertops that are granite or any kind of tile or stone that is porous, glass even, cover them with parchment paper or some kind of paper because it'll eat through bad. I learned that way on my glass countertop. Made a really bad mark on it. And it's not even a year old, so wasn't very happy with myself. Okay, we are safe to take away the mask. If you are new to soap making, you could leave the shield on. Even myself, making and doing stuff, I've splashed some lye on my face. You want to immediately rinse off any lye that you get on yourself with vinegar. I should have told you that in the beginning. I'm sorry, I just remembered. So if you get any lye spilt on yourself or any lye on your counters and stuff, you can rinse it with vinegar. Yeah, it was a glass top stove, not counter. Sorry. Thanks, babe. Excuse me. Still battling that. Okay, now, some people add their clays in their oil right now and mix them up. I usually mix them up in a separate little container, and this is a good trick for you. Let me show you. I should have got my little container out and done that a minute ago, but we're going to let the lye sit there, make sure it's all good. I'll move this over here so you can see. Now, if this was a mica powder, any clay, mica powder, cocoa powder, any colorant that you're using, we call it dispersing into oil. So all we're going to do is I'm going to use 2 tablespoons. I love this. This is a new thing I'm adding in all my soaps. It's kaolin clay. Even though we're doing oatmeal I add at the very last because you want the soap to be a little thicker because the oatmeal, if it's heavy, the little granules can kind of go to the bottom of the soap. So right now we're just going to be adding some clay, and I'm going to use the same oils that I have weighed out already for my soaps to mix up the clay. Now you would do this with your mica powders. So you get about, I think 2 tablespoons will work. Let's look. So if you have your natural colorants or micas, you would do this as well. But, and you would set it aside. And when you get these 2 mixtures to your trace, or that cake batter look, or it's a light, thin gravy look, that's when you would separate and you would add the colors you'd want to add. And the last thing we're going to do is add the essential oils or the fragrance oils if that's what you're working with. And essential oils, we already, on your soap calc, you can put in, if you know the percentage of oils that you're needing. We wanted about, let me double check. I put in the percentage of fragrance oil at a 5% rate. That is the strongest amount of this fragrance oil, or sorry, essential oil that you can use. Fragrance oils are different. The company that you buy them from, make sure they say that they're soap safe or they're body safe. And then also, when you are doing your fragrance oils, there is a dilution rate for each and every one by that company. So essential oil will say diluted at a 3-something%, you know, or this or that. You have to go by their dilution rate, and when you're punching in your totals, you can add, you know, your fragrance ratio, and you can put that rate in there, and it'll tell you the weight of fragrance or essential oils that you are allowed to use. But there's also a calculator for just essential oils that you can use. It's the essential oil calculator. It's like essentialoilcalculator.net. SoapCalc is soapcalc.net. Or no, the essential oil I think is .com. I can add it in the descriptions later when I go to edit. But it's like essentialoilcalculator.com. Or calc, C-A-L-C. So this is our, I'm sorry, I got kaolin clay. I was going to say bentonite clay. And we can add that into our oils now and get that mixed up. Because it is not a mica. We want that clay to be super mixed in. It can get a little clumpy. I just did that to show you kind of how we do micas. But the clays, you could put in the soap or the oils right now. Are you allowed to share the live? Are you still in there?
Yes, he's awake.
Are you allowed to share the live? If you can, try to share it on our Facebook farm page. Okay, so another tip is you want to have your oils and your lye mixture around the same temperatures. This one, my lye and goat's milk is at 75.2. This is 79.3. That is so good. We are staying below 90 to be a cold process soap, and we're in 10 degrees of each other. So now, carefully pour your lye mixture into your oils. Do it nice and slow. Now, this is perfect to show you. I have a couple of chunks in there, so I'm going to try to break them up. They're not breaking up, so I am not going to try to scrape them out. These little, I'll show you. These little chunks, if they don't break up, don't try to put it in there and try to get it, I mean, they're hard. The moisture is pulled from while it's so humid out right now, and it'll be okay if it's just a little chunk. If it is a big chunk, then you want to try to break that up and get it to go in with your soap mixture, because you don't want to discount too much lye, because then your soap's not going to come out right. You have to have everything weighed out and perfect. But if it's just a little chunk like that, it's okay. Just don't worry about it. Let me throw this over here into my sink so nobody touches that. Excuse me. Okay, here. Come around over here. Okay, now I'm going to get to mixing, and this takes a few minutes, but I want you to try to watch. Let's see if I can get you a little closer so you can watch this process. A little closer. Bend this down a little. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. I want you to see this process. You don't have to see me. Ooh, yay, you could see a lot better. Okay, there we go. Blending. And it's on 1. You don't want to do high, and you want to make sure you don't have air bubbles. Thanks for your comment, Sandra. You're super welcome. Just trying to help out fellow soap makers or future soap makers. Still blending. It's still not at a trace yet. It's still not completely mixed together. You can see the separation between the oil and my lye goat's milk mixture. So I'm gonna keep blending. We're almost there. Aw, thank you, honey. So we're at the very beginning of trace. Now, it is not got the thick consistency. The best way to say traces is when you lift this up, you could still see a ring from your blender. So this is almost there. And once we get it there, then I'll add in my essential oil. So just keep blending for like another minute when it's like this. But it is blended together. Excuse me. This is a very, very, very thin trace. Got a little bit thicker, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and put my essential oil in. This is blended well together. Definitely not done blending, so we're going to put in our essential oil now. Wait, before I do that, let me grab my containers. I looked to make sure. Hold on one second. I see. I want to make sure that my containers are good to go. I got to get my little alcohol spray. I should have already done that. Where? There it is. And make sure my containers are clean and ready to go. See, doing my live, trying to get all the things done for today. I washed them, but they've been sitting out for a couple of days. And I just want to make sure, like I sprayed them. But I just want to wipe them down and make sure there's no dust, and the alcohol is, it sterilizes and cleans. I do that right before I usually start the video, but I started my video messing with the new Streamlabs and then didn't get it done. I just got 1, 2, think it's good. 2. Bring this over here so you can see what I'm doing. I mean, since we are soaping in a house, you definitely don't want to have an accidental dog hair or dust or something in somebody's soaps. That would be totally gross. So now, these are all alcohol sprayed out. Oh, I didn't get all the alcohol out of this one. I sprayed it a little heavy. Okay. Double check. You see? This one? Is that a hair? I don't think it is. No, it's just that's a tiny piece of soap from the last time I soaped in the very, very corner. How funny is that? That's a little corner of soap left over from when I soaped the last time. At the corner, had to pop out that little teeny bit of soap. So we're good to go. Okay, soap molds, check. Now, Essential Depot Bulgarian lavender, my favorite lavender. It is 4.6 ounces for an 8-pound recipe. This is a 4-ounce bottle. So I'm not going to open up another bottle, just put the 0.6. So we're just going to use 4 ounces in 8 pounds. That is my magic number. I just shared a secret with you. now it's really starting to look like an actual batter. This is, you know, where it's showing this is the tray stage that would be okay to pour if you were doing like a drop swirl or you're adding mica powders and stuff like that. You could have added it when we did the essential oil and blended up, but we're going to keep blending because I want this a little bit thicker before I add my oatmeal. Doing that is just like when you pound a cake, getting the bubbles out. You're not trying to blend a bunch of bubbles in here. See, I never lifted this above while it's going because you could splash out. This is really thick. It is not quite a medium trace. It's still at a light trace stage. Can you see the little, oh, it's hard to see. So this is getting a little closer to put in. Sorry, we can't fast forward. This is live, so it takes a minute. This is what it does. Now we're at a good thickness that I like to put in the oatmeal. I had a little bit of oil on here, remember? So I gotta wipe it off. Thanks, babe. Sweet little messages from my husband. He's such a good supporting husband. So I just want enough oatmeal, and I want to make sure I have plenty of that finely ground oatmeal. And I like a little bit of the coarse oatmeal because that makes a really good, when you have itchy, dry skin, like our family, with eczema, sensitive skin, or when you have poison ivy, and poison oak, you want a bar that's scrubby. So, but I do recommend if you use our soaps, use any of these soaps, use a wash rag or something so the soap lasts longer. But you can use the bar directly on your skin. I'm talking to my husband on that one. liking the thickness of the soap. I could probably keep blending to get it a little thicker, but I'm gonna think we're going to get my stuff in and let it set for a minute. The essential oils sometimes will accelerate your soap. In this case, the lavender, I've never had an issue with it accelerating my soap. And also, with your stick blender, if you're not having a commercial grade blender, you want to give it a break from time to time because it'll overheat and then it's ruined, especially if you have a cheap, like $15 one. My husband got me this one to cook with. It's a KitchenAid blend, and so I used it for soaps, and now I can't use it for anything else. So that is another tip. And the other tips I didn't give earlier, only use stainless steel, plastic, silicone when you're dealing with soaps. Aluminums will cause a reaction with your lye. So never, never, never use, like, make sure it's stainless steel grade. They have aluminum ones out there that are cheap. Do not use aluminum bowls. Do not use aluminum measuring spoons, nothing like that. Yeah, this is really nice. Hold on. Okay, I just wanted to make sure all of that oatmeal was in there really well. Didn't want to have any clumps in there. And now we are not adding mica powders to the soap. I didn't specify why. We have a lot of customers that have sensitive skin and they don't want the mica powders in their soaps. They love the honey and oat soap that has no essential oils in it. That is a great soap, but we have a few customers who, well, several, and including myself, that love the lavender and oat soap. Lavender can be very soothing to your skin. It is very calming. Like I said, the Bulgarian lavender that we use, it has a very wonderful scent, guy and gal friendly, whereas like like the English lavender, it just smells old to me. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. It's very musky lavender. And I love lavender, but I'm not a huge fan of English lavender. Some people love it, but I like the Bulgarian lavender, or the French lavender is also very, very nice. Okay, so let me make some room so you can see what I'm doing. You see my soap molds in there. Double check another. We're good to go. Just want to double check there. Okay, now we're get to pour. These are 2-pound molds. If you're interested, I see a little piece from the, it's from the, I can't even speak, paper towel. It was like fuzz from the paper towel. Sorry, I'm particular. my husband made me an amazing 4-pound mold, but I needed to use 8 pounds, and this is what I'm going back to my old ones I got from Amazon. These are the ones we started with. See how nice and thick that is? Can you hear my son singing in there? So funny. So total ounce weight of oils and everything. My total ounce weight, is it just oils? Let me double check. Ounces and oils and everything is 130. So that's 8 pounds. A little over 8 pounds. It's like 8 pounds, 1.25. And it fills these up to the tippity top. This is where we get the scraping going. My favorite soaper, she is Royalty Soaps. Well, one of my favorite soapers. I have a lot, actually. But one of my favorite soapers, every time I do this, I can't stop but thinking, she always says, scrapey, scrapey, my big containy. And so in my head, I can't say that. That's her like coined little phrase. So I'm not going to copy her, but it's just so adorable. So, Miss Royalty Soaps, this is for you. Scrapey, scrapey, my big container. So funny. I just love it. Oh, this smells so good. And then in 24 hours, I'll... depending on the humidity here in Texas, but in 24 hours, I should be able to unmold and cut my soaps. Okay, just making sure you can see what I'm doing. You don't want to waste a drop of your soap, you guys. Plus, it helps your cleanup. Another question by someone that watches us is, can you clean these in your sink? Absolutely. You just want to keep your gloves on. This is still active lye. The sponification process is happening, but it's still active lye. Your batter is going to be, your soap is going to take, 24 hours to 48 hours, depending on your mold, to sponify these oils and the lye to not be active. So touching this batter, with your bare hands is still harmful right now. Your lye is still working in those oils. But just throw this in your sink and run some hot water in it and your dish soap. I can't even use dish soap without these gloves anyways because we have such sensitive skin. Now watch what I do. Pop this over here. Excuse me. So sorry. Allergies are horrible this time of year for my family and I. Promise you it's not the Rona. We already had the test. It's not the Rona. I took my son. He didn't have a fever or anything, but he had a cough. So, of course, had to get a test because he didn't have flu. He didn't have strep. and he didn't have the Rona, and neither do I, because we have the same issues. This is knocking those bubbles out, just like when you're baking a cake. If you can bake a cake, you can make soap. That is my, I'm going to coin that phrase. I'm going to put it on a t-shirt. That is my logo right there. My slogan, my logo. So fun. You can see the little bubbles that are popping to the top. Now, on my other soaps, I'll wrap these with cellophane so they don't have a white, it's called ashing. It's not anything that looks like actual ash, but the lye with the air will cause like a white, I don't know, it's a very light, not a film, but to prevent that, we use a little, oh, I was looking for my alcohol. I'm almost out. I should have got ready. This helps with bubbles on your top surface, and it helps that ashing. So we want to do that. That'll pop any of the bubbles. And then I want to put a little bit of the lavender. I have organic lavender buds. These are great until moisture hits them. When moisture hits them, they turn brown and they look like mouse turds. And that's very embarrassing when you have your soaps and they look like they have mouse turds on them. Before we had my wonderful husband got our shed turned into a soap studio, soap shed, so we can store our soaps, and it has a dehumidifier. The humidity would come in there, our terrible, hot, humid days, and their moisture level in that shed would get so hot. This is not as thick as I wanted it to be. Let's work on this one. So the lavender buds browned, and so did the oatmeal on top, and I was just like, oh, I had to pick them off. I was so upset. But customers, they knew it. They didn't care. They were like, it's still wonderful. I have such good customers. If this was a little thicker, it would work. So we're going to go back and start with this one. The longer it sets, the thicker it's going to get. Sometimes I'll do some cleanup and come back and work with it. But I'm just wanting to create some texture to the top. And I want to create like a little spot where I could put the lavender and oatmeal. And I'm just going to put a few sprinklings of the lavender buds and the oatmeal, so I know what the soap is, and customers can also look and see what the soap is, like on our websites and stuff. They're like, oh, it's lavender and oat. See how this one's already starting to thicken? I don't know how well you can see that up there. Mouse turds. Are you laughing at me, honey? It's true. It's a true story. It looked like mouse turds. You know what I'm talking about. When you know, you know. While this is thickening, bring this over. I'm going to get the oatmeal. Hold on one second. I could take off my gloves. I don't have any soap batter on my gloves. Well, this one I don't. This one looks like I do. Just wipe it off a little bit. Excuse me. And get the oatmeal. Oh, wait, that's way too much. I really don't want a whole lot. I just want enough to decorate. And so I'm not going to be putting my hand inside and doing that. That's not sanitary. Okay, there's no soap batter on my spoon. I'm allowed to touch it. humidity is messing with me today. The humidity will also play a huge part in making soaps. If it's a high humidity day, you might have problems with your soap coming to trace, setting up. I soaped in the beginning on a high humidity day, and it took forever for my soaps, it felt like, to cure, because the sodium hydroxide can pull, excuse me, I need a drink, the moisture from the air. And then that's adding water to your, it's adding extra water. I know it sounds crazy, but it's so true. There we go. It's starting to set up a little bit more. I just want it to be textured on the sides. Just a little bit. If the soap was thicker, it would stay. So it seemed thick enough before I poured it, but I could have actually blended it for a little bit longer. What are we going on? An hour and a half almost? Yep. This is my process, you guys. And then I still have the cleanup, which I'm not going to make you stick around for that part. I have to clean and then dirty up my kitchen again because I have to cook dinner. I spend a lot of time in my kitchen. I would soap in my soap shed, but I don't have a good signal in there. And not only that, I don't have the sink yet, which I could bring a bottle of vinegar, which would be totally fine if there was, a need to wash anything off. But then I have to take everything out and either bring it inside or go to the hose and wash everything. I'd rather bring it inside. But, so yeah, this is where I'm at. Plus I have children, and usually my husband is working. He was working all day today fixing goat fences, and then when he come in, I was like, I'm doing my live. So that way, if any kids needed anything or whatever, he's my partner. My partner in crime. Almost there. I don't know how many people are watching. If you're watching and you're not my husband, can you please give a comment? Say hello. Have a question. I can answer any questions real quick. Okay, now I'm making like a little cavity, smoothing out the center. Okay, no questions. I think I'm pretty happy with the way they look. Gosh, they smell so good. I love these soaps. Okay, now, the fun part. What part of Texas are you in? I live about 2 years. No, I know what you meant. 2 hours in Austin. I live about 2 years in Austin. So you've lived in Austin 2 years? We are not close to Austin, my honey. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about honeys on there. We are not close to Austin. We are up in the northeast part of Texas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we are actually outside Dallas and Fort Worth. We are in a small town. It's called Springtown, And we love it out here. We're in the country. We're about 30 minutes from the nearest big city. Well, we say big city. The city that has a Walmart. So we're out here in the country. We have satellite internet. Oh, you're in Florida? We love Florida. We went to Destin, Florida a couple years ago. And I think if we ever like sell our farm and retire, or you know, our boys take over our farm and we retire, I think Florida might be the place to go. I don't know, travel in an RV, something, but I love Texas, but boy, it gets hot here in the summertime, as you know. Sorry, my kids are playing, being cray-cray. Crazy! Yeah, but you know, I haven't been to Austin since I was a kid. And a couple years ago, we went to Sabine, and we went to the Texas coast. And I want to go back. I want to try Galveston, Corpus Christi. I want to see all of the coast. I love the ocean. The boys love the ocean. And Destin we stopped in a little town in between Pensacola and Destin. It was like just a tiny little strip, and there was just no one on the beach there. It was so beautiful. That's where we wanted to go back. Or the right there, I think it's called Orange Beach, Alabama. We talked about going there because it was just, it was just white sands, gorgeous water. Oh yeah, that's where we're talking about. That's where I would like to be. Either retiring one day or just going and spending a lot of time. I know y'all have to worry about hurricanes and whatnot, but boy, it's just beautiful. So if you could see, I'm trying to, you know, put the oats kind of on the little hilltop. You could do it however you want if you're making soap. You cannot do this part. Some people, especially like guys, aren't a big fan of the little decorations on top, but I think us gals, we love it. It's so pretty. Just to me, it just looks so natural. And getting these big old-fashioned oats versus the quick oats, in my opinion, because they're so big, you know, you could see them. And I mean, when you cut the bar, you kind of need to leave a little, I mean, I can't eyeball it, but you just cut the bar on the side or upside down. With the tops being tall, you have to do it to the side, because when you cut the soap, it'll drag through the soap. So that's another tip if you're not, I'll try to do a live soap cutting to kind of show, but I kind of just add a little extra, because when you do cut the soap, some of these are going to fall off. So if you know, if a few fall off, it's no big deal. I just try to make them all look even. I'm kind of particular. I usually cut off the live and I still mess with the soap for a minute. But I'm showing you my whole process today. Down to the measuring of the oils and blending and everything. Let's see. Don't want to go over the top, but I just want to like look and make sure everybody's even. And that's about it, you guys and gals. I hope you enjoyed, and those that didn't get to watch it live and stuff, I hope this helped you. I don't like that twig right there, and I can't touch it with my hand. Let's see if I could get the twig off. I've had a lot of soap questions here lately, and so I'm pretty excited about helping others make soap. Aw, thank you so much. I really love them. I need a tiny bit of buds right here on this one. I saw while I'm not trying to be a perfectionist. Sometimes you could just go a little too far. But these were our basic, like, first soaps we started making for our family because I love lavender. Besides honey and oat and just regular plain goat's milk. These will always be my favorite, and I will always try to keep these in stock because I've got too many people that just demand the soap. I have one lady who buys one loaf all to herself, and she just loves it. So let me see if I can get you a little closer so you can see. Oh, excuse my kids. Let's see. Flippy? There we go. So you can get a little bit of a closer look. The smell is amazing. Making your own soap, your house will smell good all day. No Scentsies, no wax melts needed. So thanks, Sandra, for watching, and my husband. And if you guys that are watching, if I helped you in any way, please subscribe to our channel. We're up to 515 subscribers. I think if you get up to 1,000, we could start like doing ad revenue, and that would help us out so much. We take care of our animals here on the farm, and it'll all go to be back in the business and help further our product line. We're trying to come out with, here, let me flip this around. I'm trying to come out with as many natural products. We just did some beard butters for the guys. I'm doing body butters. I've been doing body butters for women and men, and shampoos and all that's coming. And just trying to get a bigger spot for one. And I make the products, and then we test them vigorously with all of our friends and family. Give it out. They try it out. They tell me if it's good or not. We have some pretty honest folks in our family. So, if you would like more to come, subscribing to our channel would help us out. I'm not trying to beg, but please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for all the kind words and comments, all the people who've sent us messages. Thank you so very much. We also have Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Not always on TikTok. It's time suckage on there, and just, you know, I got off of the platform and now I'm back on it for a minute. I just like the little quick videos, but Facebook, Instagram, all that is the same name, 3H Farms TX, and you can go to our website, check it out at 3hfarmstx.com, and send us a message if you have any questions, okay? Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me for an hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half. Have a great day, and bye. Happy Labor Day.